Good morning, guys, or actually good afternoon. Afternoon stream, guys. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day so far. So today we're gonna do Apex. We're gonna do Apex Legends. More. Yesterday, as I mentioned, my sleep schedule was fucked up. So yesterday, during the afternoon, I basically played Apex Legends all day off stream. I wanted to see maybe if I was doing something wrong online, you know. Sometimes you just, like when you talk to people constantly, it actually distracts you from playing the game well. And actually, streaming sometimes can actually be a hindrance to learning new games and doing well at them. And I did win some games yesterday, but it is clear that there was issues with cheating in the game. I had a squad with a guy that was cheating yesterday, and he basically held W across the entire map, even into areas of the smoke that basically there's no indication, like no gun sounds or anything. Like he just W keyed into the smoke, into the death field, just to kill squads, and then you know, zip line out, or not zip line, but use a blimp to get out of there. It's just, yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. You could just see him. I was watching him when I was down once, and you could just see him looking at people through buildings and shit. Yeah, until they actually add like a death cam to this game, it makes it very difficult to actually see who's cheating and who's not, because you spend very little time actually observing people, and it's very difficult to report people. And of course, obviously, they need to add cheat detection of their own, like anti-cheat in general, because this game can't function on just reporting people. No way reporting people would ever be enough. Like, covered this before. Like the amount of people that just like on that one website that I looked at, just the sheer amount of people that downloaded the cheat compared to the amount of people that said they banned the game is completely wrong. And there's another website I posted today, I think it's from Dexis, where they did an article on basically Chinese markets for buying cheats for Apex. Chinese markets for buying cheats for Apex, guys. Podcast section here. Right. There you go. The Dexis did an article on... I also changed my IP. Oh, it looks like first now. On anti-cheat for this game, basically. Not anti-cheat, for the cheat market. Not Dexis, Abacus. Never heard of Abacus News, but they did a pretty interesting article with a lot of links on cheating in this game. Chinese market for cheating. You can go, basically it's like Alibaba. You can go to like an Alibaba where you can buy just cheats for this game. In China, it's not illegal to buy, sell cheats for games. IP laws, DMCA, everything like regarding like IP rights for software is very, very minimal in China, and it usually depends entirely on the amount of influence you have in the country. China in itself is just its own little ecosystem. Well, not little, it's a pretty big ecosystem, but it's its own ecosystem of just like stuff. And it's pretty easy. Not that it's actually uncommon for people to sell cheats. I mean, I basically talked about it a lot, about how people sell cheats. There's big companies online that sell cheats, and this is like just like people that make their own cheats, and they sell them on like an eBay of sorts. They sell them on like an eBay for Apex. And Apex, being this kind of game that has almost nothing in the way of anti-cheat, is making for a giant, fucking huge market for cheats. And it will kill this game. I've mentioned before, Battlefield, I don't mean that to be sensationalist or hyperbole. I've mentioned this before with Battlefield. But like I think one of the things that really kills the Battlefield games is the lack of anti-cheat. Just like people get tired of it. It's even if people don't know people are cheating, or you don't know for sure if people are cheating, right? It's not about knowing for sure. It's about your experience becoming ruined. Like, you just having a bad time playing the game. And when people are cheating, it definitely does that. You die more often, you don't win as many games, you don't kill as many people, and then you'll just get insta-gibbed by someone out of nowhere. Just like, blam, your brain's just gone. It's just plastered to the side of the screen. And you're like, what the fuck happened? Like, you don't even get a chance to fire back, you don't even get a chance to use your abilities. And while it does happen on occasion, there's some god-tier players like Shroud running around who only redeemable quality is basically aiming their gun. Are exceptionally good at this game because this game is basically almost all entirely about aim. While there are people running around, you'd be highly unlikely to encounter people like that, much less so than the tens, hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people that are probably cheating in this game. I'd say the amount of people that cheat in any game, like a first-person shooter, is anywhere from 20 to 40% of the population has at one point cheated in the game. Not that they always do, but like when I was playing Overwatch, especially towards the higher level, when you start getting to GM, like some of the DPS players, just fucking scary shit. And they all, like, not everyone is a Shroud. And just some people are just, you do question, especially when you can like watch the death cam and watch them basically watch where you're coming through around a wall, like well out of sound range, like see their crosshair go like this when you come around a wall and just like paste you in the face. Cheating isn't small. Cheating isn't this small thing that no one does and everyone else is just their kid in, you know, it takes a lot less effort to be a kid in someone's basement. It takes a lot more effort to be a kid in someone's basement playing games 24/7, 365 for the last 30 years of your life and becoming this god-tier player than it does spending $15 on a cheat you basically can make in a day. You can make that in a day, and especially when you play games, which is a really, really cheap hobby, there is no real entry. There's no real, like, it's not like you have to spend thousands of dollars to get this cheat. There's no real entry point for it, which means pretty much anyone can do it. I mean, kids can just take their parents' credit card, and some kids, you know, even have their parents' credit card where they give them, like, a limit they can spend per month on a card, and just whatever they want, and just buy cheats. You can do whatever you want. You know, it doesn't need to be someone, especially when you get older. $15 for disposable income is like nothing. And even if you get caught, like, it really doesn't even matter that much, especially if you play with friends who all do the same thing. You know, they don't give a shit when you get caught. Like, you know, people are generally the ideology that it just doesn't, like, anyone outside of your group of friends just doesn't matter. But anyways, the cheating in this game, absolutely out of control. Out of fucking control. And if you don't watch YouTube, I mean, it's just fucking everywhere. And it's not, these aren't just like fake cheats. There is a marketplace for cheating in Apex Legends, a big marketplace for cheating in Apex Legends. And it's not hard to find cheats. It's not hard to find cheats, and they don't really cost much either. They cost like nothing, like $20. It's like labor in China is fucking cheap as shit. Like, getting people to do anything is actually, even if the quality is going to be absurdly low, you know, which is kind of its own game in and of itself, get it pretty much anything made in China for really fucking cheap. And they know it. And the entrepreneuring, you know, China individuals, instead of working at Foxconn, they have programming skills. They're going to make a fucking cheap for a video game, because why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they do that? Says on the screen. Pops up. Obviously, this is all heck. You can see players' locations on the minimap. But anyways, like, even yesterday, I've ran into maybe like 10% of the games we're in yesterday. We had like someone that was possibly cheating in our group. When I streamed, maybe not that many. We had a couple games yesterday, like 3 games where it was someone that was just W keying across the map towards player locations, which there were no sounds of battle or anything like that. Yesterday, I think I wasn't streaming. No, maybe it was when I was streaming. Yesterday we had that guy. I was with a group of 3 guys, and we were on the outskirts of a circle, and I was rezzed, and my teammates ran away because the battle was well over, and I was in a corner picking through loot. and a guy just came around the corner looking at me. I wasn't really doing anything. I was just sitting there. Came around the corner and basically pasted me in the face with bullets, just W keyed while holding mouse 1 on my face until I died. And then the same thing happened later on. I warned my teammates, as like, this guy possibly is cheating or stream sniping or something. My teammates were like watching like kind of this open area, and this guy just walks over the top of a hill and like instantly kills both of them. And that was it. Like, he knew exactly where they were and what they're doing, and just instantly killed them. And like, it's pretty fucking obvious that people are cheating. And unfortunately, Respawn has not taken it seriously. Respawn's effort with anti-cheat in Titanfall was abysmal in the first place. They didn't really even have anti-cheat in Titanfall at all. The anti-cheat in Titanfall was like fair fight, which was just a stat-based anti-cheat. So if you get like 100% headshots, they'll ban you. Absolutely, like, I don't know whoever thought of the idea of like a stat-based anti-cheat, but it was a fucking terrible idea. Yeah, it caught like almost no one, and at the end of the day, it was one of the reasons I quit the original Titanfall. Well after basically the hype train ended on Twitch, I was still playing the game because I really enjoyed Titanfall 1. And then I eventually quit it because the people I was playing against. Good morning, KSA, or good evening, KSA. Good afternoon, KSA. I don't normally get to say afternoon. Good afternoon. Because it was just like the tier I was playing at, it felt like every game I was just running into someone that was fucking cheating, fortunately. And that's kind of the way Apex Legends is going. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a cheat or something like that, but this is the other issue I want to discuss today, guys, is hit registration in this game has gone the fucking shitter. Gone to the fucking shitter. And I don't know exactly what it is, but my shots on people, like, there's some games I run into where my shots just don't fucking do dick to people. Like, I'll dump an entire clip into them at, like, point-blank range, and they won't do any damage. And I do wonder, because Battle Nonsense, which we talked about when he released that clip on Reddit, I think it was on Sunday. Let's see, Reddit, Apex Legends Battle Nonsense. 4 days ago. This right here. So we watched this. Basically, we talked all about this clip, and no, it's not the end-all be-all of netcode analysis whatsoever, because the guy tests at 1 ping. He doesn't test variance at all. He only looks at basically a set of conditions that are specific to him, and he doesn't actively compare like the distribution of netcode at all. Like, he'll like compare this baseline of each game to each other, to different games. But netcode is all about how the game interprets different latency and how it all deals with things together. And, you know, just that aside, missing the point here. Anyways, he gave this kind of a glaringly negative review of Apex Legends netcode. This is 4 days ago, roughly Sunday? Roughly on Sunday, and obviously Monday was President's Day, no one's working, no one works on Sunday. So then you have Tuesday and Wednesday, maybe a little bit of Monday there when everyone kind of stumbles into the office and no one really, you know, whatever happens, right? People aren't supposed to work anyways, or whatever, who knows. Anyways, basically since Sunday, I've had really, really bad hit registration in the game. And I don't know, maybe this is a placebo, obviously, because it's personal reporting, it's me reporting, like, how big's your dick, and my dick is 12 inches, sort of thing. But from my experience, and from other streamers who I've watched play this game, maybe in the last couple days, or the last maybe even a week, it's like the cheating epidemic has been going on since not this last Sunday, the week before. So about Sunday here is about when the cheating epidemic started on Apex Legends, when cheating started to become really prevalent. I think Legends released on the 30th, like here. Anyways, that's about right, because basically it's an engine that people have had minimal work with, and there aren't prior games, and there's no beta, so they couldn't pre-make cheats, and they had to find ways around the anti-cheat. Anyways, my experience with the game is basically since about maybe even a little bit earlier than this netcode analysis, but like the last couple days, guys, like you just run into some people you can sink your bullets into, and it does nothing, absolutely fucking nothing, and they have no problem shooting you, which is where it's kind of shit you find in Fortnite, which makes me wonder, since this video, which basically Battle Nonsense gave the game a glaring review, mainly because like you can always shoot people, and that's bad. Is like when your bullets always count on people, because obviously some people have higher pings and their bullets shouldn't count for some strange reason. Anyways, I have a ping like 40, and in Fortnite that means I can't ever be a good player, because Fortnite is entirely about how low your Lancey is. In order to be a really top tier player, you need about 25 ms ping or lower in that game. I don't have it. I have a 40 ms ping. A lot of people have a 30 to 50 ms ping, probably even around 40ish, around my ping level, because there's only so many servers in the US. A lot of people have around 30 to 40 ms ping, just because of the server locations. That's nothing you can prevent. That's nothing you can change. Anyways, the whole reason I actually liked the way the netcode worked in Apex Legends, which is completely opposite of what Battle Nonsense said, is because your bullets count. It felt an awful lot like you just aren't shooting into the abyss of nothingness, and you don't, and then someone just turns around and insta-gives you. Like, that happens in Fortnite, and it's one of the reasons I stopped playing that game. Not the only reason, but like one of the big benefits of like low Lancey is that your bullets counted an awful lot more than other people's higher pings. And if this review, not me, but this review from Battle Nonsense actually changed how Apex Legends is working now, where the developers are like, oh, let's make less of a tolerance for players with a higher ping or something like that. I don't have that high of a ping. Like, we're running into the theoretical limits of what I can achieve living in Wisconsin. And if gaming becomes this kind of elite scenario where only people with low pings that have been blessed by the gods be squirted out of someone's pussy next to a server in Ohio, where the fuck are we? And I mean, you can be as kind of like grotesque as I want to be with that, because that's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting that you basically, like, how good you can be at a video game depends on how close you live to the server. That's like that's not even like good FPS. You know, good FPS, people can buy computers. I can't buy a better ping. I could get a corporate fiber connection, because fiber's not available in my area, and spend $1,200 a month, which I in no way, shape, or form have, in order to fund it. But and that only drops me 10 ms. So instead of having a 40 ms ping in Fortnite, I'd have a 30 ms ping in Fortnite. Like, that only drops my ping by 10. And that's still not enough to get into the god tier in Fortnite. That's disgusting, and I really hope Respawn didn't make things so it's like I mentioned, like I was watching Lyric play earlier today, and he was also having a lot of problems with hit registration. Having watched Lyric plenty of times in the past and Summit plenty of times in the past, they don't live as close as humanly possible to servers. I think Lyric's somewhere in New York or something like that, which isn't really that close to servers. Once you start getting up that little peninsula on the East Coast, it starts making your ping a lot worse, because you get further away from the servers. Anyways, it traditionally hasn't had really good hit registration in games, and I was watching him today being really frustrated because he's shooting people, and like, you can watch his videos, he's shooting people, and his shots just don't fucking count. And it's not just me. It's not just me having this issue, and it was the same way with Fortnite, and for the same reason they quit Fortnite. And like, I quit Fortnite, obviously for them it wasn't the sole reason, but when you don't perform in a video game, when you can't like perform up to par of what you think you should actually be achieving, and I don't mean like, oh, I should be the best gamer ever, I'm like the next Shroud or anything like that, but I definitely know when there's cases when someone should be dead, and they're just fucking lollygagging around while jumping in the air, switching weapons, and finding one that's reloaded while I'm shooting them, and they kill me. It's disheartening as fuck. This is the same sort of scenario we ran into with Fortnite. It's disheartening as fuck when my bullets don't count and someone else's do because they have a lower ping, because they were blessed by the gods with a fiber connection on the right network, living next to the AWS servers or whatever fucking server. That's not the way gaming should be. And I don't fucking give a shit if you die around a corner a tiny bit. That's just the way of fucking life. That's the way it works, and it's not always a relationship with people dying around corners that have low pings. You can have a higher ping and die around a corner because someone with a low ping saw you in a different position when you're going. It goes both ways. It's not just low pings and high pings that get, or low pings that get fucked around corners. Also, high pings get fucked around corners. The point is it's equal. It's equal. And when you give people the opportunity, you go, oh, just, allow people with a lower ping to have the advantage because obviously they're more writer. And it's true because your ping is lower. Lancy-wise, like, you are closer to real time the closer you are to a server. That's the way Lancy works. And hit registration tries to make up the difference between when you shoot someone on your screen and when they actually get hit on their screen or on the server, where they actually are on the server, right? Movement prediction, interpolation, all those things, everything with Netcode works together to try and hold the whole thing together so it works. And you can make an argument for, oh, people with a lower ping are more on the right when they shoot someone because they're closer to real time, and that's true. However, from a standpoint of fairness, that is not true, and in no way, shape, or form can I actually improve my ping. I've done everything. I've bought $100 routers. I've redone my wiring in my house. I have 2 different redundant connections, or 2 different connections. I have 1 redundant connection. I have 2 different connections. I've tried optimizing my computer. I've tried reinstalling Windows. I've tried changing everything. I've tried changing my network around. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Ping is a function of your distance to the server and the amount of routes it has to cross to get there, the amount of routers it has to go through to get there. And nothing I can do as an individual will ever really change that. Fiber will be available, supposedly will be available, actually will be available, possibly. Fiber is approved, and they're working on it in this coming year, so I will possibly have fiber available to me in the next year and a half. That's a year and a fucking half. And honestly, like I mentioned, it's not going to change that much. It'll improve my ping by 10 ms, give or take 10 ms. And that's not enough to become a Fortnite legend, because it'll still only be 30 ms. And there's people rocking 20 to 10 ms pings in Fortnite. It's disgusting. I really hope Apex Legends does not end up in the same boat, where people with lower pings just get the go-ahead because they're closer to reality. Because, I can choose where I live in the world just on the flick of a switch. I'll just be bam, bam, wherever I want to be, That's not really the way it works. And I really hope that Respawn hasn't changed something. This is just a fluke, or this is somehow part of cheating, which I also kind of don't hope is the case, but maybe the case is cheating fucks with hit registration. It's entirely possible. Artificial Lancy is a thing. And the most basic level of artificial Lancy is the leg switch. I'm sure you guys have heard about that. The most basic level of artificial Lancy is the leg switch. There's all sorts of different ways of fucking with your network stack and adding Lancy or reducing. You can't really reduce Lancy past your normal connection speed. That's one of the problems. You can't reduce Lancy. You can add Lancy. They're fucking with it or whatever. It could be entirely possible that there are exploits. I've seen Infinity Shield exploits, or not exploits, hacks. HP hacks exist. But based on the amount of people that I've just run into where my bullets just don't count, I do wonder if they've changed something since this review came out, this video piece came out on the game, where they tried to tighten down the network code, and in doing so, they basically fucked a lot of people with higher pings. I don't even have a higher ping. I have a 40 ms ping. You guys saw it on the launch screen. I had a 41 ms ping. And I can't really change that. I got a new IP today because I wanted to change it up a bit to see if maybe that was causing an issue or something, and I just made everything worse. I think I have like a 1 ms higher ping now. One of the things, by the way, guys, depending on what network you're on with your ISP, if you change your ping or change your IP, you can end up with a different set of routers, and you could actually end up with a better ping. Like, I have a certain IP range that my ISP has that's just garbage. It has to be on really old technology or something. It basically increases my ping by about 5-6 ms just by being on those set of routers. Anyways, guys, so I hope that's not the case, but it might be. Today will be Apex Legends. Also, I've periodically have been getting disconnects I hope it doesn't happen. I changed my IP again. I was on a different IP range earlier tonight or yesterday / today, and I changed it before I started streaming just in hopes. Yeah, it shows like it's really bad. It shows the hit registration or the netcode being really bad for Apex Legends, and it's not. I actually have better hit registration in this game than I do in Fortnite. A lot of people interpret it this way. This is basically just a movement delay. It's not the hit registration. He did address hit registration in the game, being that your hits almost always count, and that was the case before the fucking video came out. Last week, for instance, was pretty good with hit registration. Now it's fucked up. So I don't know. We'll take a peek today. But anyways, I might disconnect. The moral of the story, guys, is I might disconnect. Talking about is I might disconnect here because of my. I don't know. There must be a bad router on my network or something. Not my personal network, but in the ISP's network. But we're gonna go over the Reddits here. I did not stream last night because I was trying to fix my sleep schedule. Went to sleep at 10 p.m. and woke up at 8 today. And I still it's one of those things where I think I actually. When I have to change my sleep schedule, I'll usually wake up after 5 hours, and I really think I need to do a staggered sleep schedule in order to fully recover. Is sleep 5 hours when you get really tired, and then stay up for a bit, and then I should have went to sleep at I woke up at 3, and then I went back to bed. I should have just stayed up until 8, and then went back to bed, and then woke up at 2. Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends on the netcode, and now netcode is not created equal for each game. For each game company engine, they make their own netcode, not for each game company, but for each engine that has its own netcode. And even then, game developers will sometimes tweak it and change it. Let's see. So there's a patch for Apex Legends, and they added a new weapon, which is the Havoc. Old Havoc.
Havoc rifle here. Sorry you died. Did you have as much fun as me? Thank you. Got him.
Thanks.
I think there's enemies in the area.
Target over there. Moving on them, yeah.
Target spotted.
Making contact with enemy.
Hostile spotted.
Select fire.
Oh.
Surprise.
Oh, he just saw him. Oh, God. Action-packed. So basically there's, you can install weapon mods on the rifle, and it basically has, a railgun mode, and then it also has, a machine gun mode. I will try it out today. I don't think there's stats up yet for it. On a website. X, wiki. Yeah. Fuck. This is the thing. Oh, pinging, not game ping. Eh. Is there a weapons page? No. Let's see. They just probably stole from that one chart. Yeah, this is just stole from the chart. Cool. DPS apparently was calculated with this guy's fucking formula, which is stupid. It's basically DPS in 1 second, which isn't even the DPS of the clip, including reload, and it's not the actual DPS of the weapon, which is dumb. Doesn't look like it has a new weapon yet. Respawn, how about a night mode? No, night games fucking suck. They sound cool and they look cool, but they fucking suck. The feature everyone wanted in a multiplayer shooter and everyone hates as soon as it's implemented. Yes. Hey, look, what I just said. Yep. There's nothing fun playing a game in night mode. Yeah. It's just like wanting a Blizzard mode for a game. Or like super hardcore rain or something. Like environmental effects. Just people just... Good afternoon, Sanjo. Got a Fee Lifeline, her ultimate juice. My juice. Yep. There's some characters that definitely benefit from the ultimate packets a lot more than others. This is a play on the fucking Wreck-It Ralph, IQ package. Oh, he's gonna get on the roof. Oh. Pretty cool. Press make badges you haven't unlocked darker. Not a thing. Accurate. Yay, memes. Be pro at Apex #1. Wingman? Yep. Astronova. I think part of cosplay is just literally looking like the character you want to cosplay. And that being born that way. Thanks, guys. You see other races in their dimension if they're simultaneously in it. That's cool. A lot of interesting things where it's like kind of like not that it matters because you can fucking see her easy as shit. Anyway. But they do kind of like reality crossover things where if it would react that way and like you'd think it makes sense that way, like theoretical reality, then they did that, which good. That's fucking great. Mobile bubble shield thing. Oh, this is where you put it on top of his throne. Ah. Yep. Good. By the way, that's also a really cool combo. For instance, you can they interact with each other, so you can put another physics on object on top of something else. From a balancing standpoint, it doesn't make sense, but like, cool as far as like user created freedom. Care packages are deadly. Arr. You're bullying someone on your team, or on an enemy team. I said, pre-mades and pugs need to be completely separate. Solo trios and squad trios need to be their own thing. Not even fair. Probably get buried, but this goes out of the randoms who like to wander off on their own. Squads together, win together. Yeah, I just quit games when people just go in fucking random directions. Like at the beginning, I just quit the game and I restart it. It's not even worth playing it. Not even worth playing, guys. Not even worth time. Okay.